building an institution, building an organization that could fuel these big dreams. And we used to say in the early days, like, what if we could build the Apple or the Disney for society? What if we could build a great institution that outlasted the test of time, but its purpose was to be agile and to solve problems, bring people together to solve the biggest problems that our society faces. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what we do. I have a video that I'd love to show in a minute. But we had this team, and we went out in this first year, and we before we even launched, and we started recruiting volunteers and getting schools to come on board across 3 cities. So we started in 3 different cities with a couple of schools as partners. But we spent that first year really designing and building with the students, with the principals in the school, with the teachers. We went in with ideas, but we didn't go in, married to one solution yet. We wanted, we knew that we wanted, young people building what we call future projects. We knew we wanted them to, get the experience of figuring out what they were really passionate about, getting exposed to the world, and to life and to opportunities that they may not normally get exposed to, and translating them into tangible, organizations and clubs and social ventures and things of their own. We wanted them to have the experience of social entrepreneurship, but that was sort of it. We didn't know much more than that from that when we started. But over the course of the year, our innovation, the core of our innovation, sort of came out, which is this new role, this new character called a dream director. Students came to us and they said, these people that you've put in our schools, they stand for something different. They're a disruptive force to the culture, to the environment, and even to the, initially we weren't focusing on the entire building, we were just focusing on students, but they said, even our teachers are thinking differently about what's possible for school and for us and as young people. So we built this out. We built out this new role that, the cast of characters in a school hasn't been reinvented for like 150 years since the guidance counselor became, a role in school. So we built out this character, built out this role, and now we have dream directors in schools in a bunch of cities, which I'll tell you about in a second. But I'd love to show this video that will give you a little bit of a sense of, what a dream director is and what the sort of larger vision is that we are working toward.
I wake up in the morning determined to support young people of color from the Bronx to understand and believe that they too can create the world that they want to see.
I dream direct because I believe in students, and I know that when students believe in themselves, they can create anything.
I want to be a dream director for the rest of my life. It's not just next year or the year after. I believe so wholeheartedly in this work.
It's the work that I want to do. This was the work that I even was doing before I got here.
This is an American high school. What better symbol is there of the future? A building built to bring young dreamers together. An institution imagined for the growth of a new generation. But let's consider what that symbol has come to mean. It's come to stand for the past. It's come to stand for bureaucracy, for the death of curiosity, the dampening of excitement, the stifling of the creativity of otherwise great people. William Butler Yeats said, "Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire." This is a place that can light that fire if we let it. Imagine if every high school, not just in tough neighborhoods or in big cities, but high schools everywhere, ignited the passions of the people inside their walls. And imagine if we accomplished this, not through a national policy shift or a big polemic debate, because the solution has always been right in front of us, the young dreamers themselves. All they need is a catalyst, someone to get them going, to bring them together, to realize their own power. A dream director. Imagine if every young person in the country had a dream director. What that would mean for a generation who creates their own future. The dreams of a generation, discovered and set in motion. This is the mission of the dream director. It's the spirit of a nation and a vision for the future. What better place to make it happen than an American high school?
So that's, that's just a little glimpse of what it looks like, and what we're building. We've got, we started, when we started the Future Project, I think we had that amateur spirit. We knew just enough, or we didn't know enough to really be scared of what could go wrong. So sort of just went full force and started building something. And so, when we started, we launched in 3 cities, in New York, in DC, and in New Haven, with 4 school partners, a team of like 6 full-time people, and we didn't really know we were supposed to fundraise, so we didn't really have any money at that point. But now, we just celebrated our 4th birthday last month, and we're serving more than 30,000 students across the country. We're in 7 different cities. We added, in addition to those 3, we added Newark, Detroit, San Francisco, and Philadelphia over the last couple of years. We've got a team now of more than 90 full-time people across those 7 cities. We've got an incredible board, we've got advisors, there's all these extraordinary people who've come together to help us build this thing. And we raised more than $22 million in the last 4 years, which was, again, we didn't know how to do any of this, didn't know what we were doing, still probably don't. But I think there's something there, and that's what we want to instill in our young people, is that when you are fearless, or when you confront the fear, when you embrace it and when you just go with it, you are capable, I think, of way more than you think you are, which is what we experienced while building this, and it's certainly what we want our young people to experience every day. So we're now, entering sort of the next era. It's been 4 years. We're entering the sort of next era for the Future Project. We're in the process of really figuring out how to take what we've been learning and building over the last couple of years, and really scale it, because the path to scale isn't hiring full-time dream directors ourselves, putting them on our payroll and trying to put them in 25,000 high schools. We're trying to figure out now, how do we flip our business model? How do we get it happening where communities, where schools, where districts are coming to us and saying, we want dream directors in our school, we'll pay you to train our people or to find the people and train them. And then we'll have them on our payroll. It was actually right before this. We're hopefully gonna make this deal with Newark Public Schools, where they pay for dream directors in every single one of their schools by next year. So that will be a really exciting proof point if that happens. So cross your fingers for us. But so that's and we're also thinking about technology. We own the domain dream.org, and we're trying to figure out how to take what we're doing and make it accessible, to everyone, to the masses over time. And once we really understand, how this methodology, how this transformational experience for a young person, taking them from the process of, figuring out what it is that they love, what they care about, and translating that into something tangible through which they build, the powerful 21st century skills that I think you all know are so essential in today's world, and what we were hearing about earlier today. So we're doing that. We're trying to figure out how to flip the business model. We're trying to bring on now, increasing numbers of senior leaders. So if any of you know extraordinary COO or CFO or fundraiser, let me know. We're also raising like a $50 million fund now, so we're taking that to a whole new level. So if any of you know any billionaires, let me know about that too. But yeah, I think we are still at the beginning of such a, what I hope will be a really long journey, and I think what Tiger, you're saying this morning resonated with me so much, that our job, we're building an institution, we're building something that I want to outlast this one mission. I want us to be able to innovate and adapt, not just to the problem that we're solving now, but in a few years, perhaps we can start looking at other problems that exist, and leveraging the extraordinary team that we've been building over the last few years to solve some of these huge choices. So I think stepping back, when I was thinking about this, I was just realizing that I think sometimes as a society we feel a real dissonance between how we know things get done within this discipline of business, and the business of making change in the world. And I think what I've realized is that social entrepreneurship can bridge that gap. And I think I've also realized that anyone can become a social entrepreneur at any time. And there's a lot of different ways. You know, so I think a lot of emerging trends now. You know, where companies. So I was talking about Ashoka earlier. Another great sort of early social entrepreneur was Ben Franklin, who talked about doing well while doing good. So I think, you know, people can look at, you know, anything that they're doing, whatever they're working on, and think about how they can apply what they do best, what they already know how to do, what they're building, you know, to solving some of the big problems that exist in the world around us. So yeah, I think, you know, as I'll wrap up in a second, but I think, you know, one thing I'd love to just leave you with is whatever sort of identity you brought in, you know, in the room here this morning, I hope you all leave recognizing that no matter what you're working on, no matter what you're doing, you know, you can apply the principles of business. You can apply, you know, the work that you're doing every day to solving some of the biggest problems that exist in the world and the things that, you know, you're most passionate about. So I think that I will stop there, and, you know, I think this has been a really exciting and powerful journey for me, and you know, I'm happy to be able to share it with you, and also really excited, you know, about being able to devote my life to giving other people the opportunity to have this kind of journey too, because we all know there's, you know, we're paying a lot for education. We know that there's, you know, there's a lot that needs to be disrupted. But to me, I think what Ashima was saying this morning, you know, if we figure out how to make it the norm that everyone's able to look inside themselves and figure out what makes them great and look around them and figure out what they really care about, I think we can do some extraordinary things in the world. Thank you.
We have time for questions.
Trying to make sure that everyone else feels awkward about the silence.
I'm Satir Hassan. I am on about 2001. Just to give a quick background, I manage the sales and marketing for a small IT services and products company based in India. Along with my full-time job, my wife and I have started an initiative to help the rural and semi-urban kids in India to prepare better for their aptitude test, and we have launched a platform 3 months ago. It's just a Facebook page to start with. Every day we post questions, the solutions, the answers come next day, full-length test as well periodically. So it's our way of